Hey guys, welcome to another New World video. So the PTR was updated with the new backstories. This allowed us to test crafting because they gave us access to max trophies and the crafting armor set associated with our crafting skill we wanted to test. So I hopped on to test some stuff, so let's get into it. So the first thing I wanted to mention is they have finally added the smelting set into the game. It is about time, and they gave us one to test. But of course they didn't give us any flux, because why would they? That would be too easy. So I'm off to gather some chests and get some flux, be back in a few. Okay, so I'm back. So let's make some Asmodium and see how it goes. And there we have it, Asmodium Extra Procs. Finally, and I got 2, which is sweet. So I think everyone will be happy to have this amazing set once it hits live in a week or so, that's for sure. Now on to the crafting and the Umbral Shards. So we were lucky this time that the devs provided us with everything on the PTR to properly test. Well, almost everything. I had to make a pile of cooking aptitude crates, somewhere around 200 to be exact, to get the tier 5 recipes for the crafting food, which of course they overlooked. And it's required, as we all know, to make Gearscore 600 gear. But once that was done, I set to work. Now, I want to point out also that I am lacking the town buff to provide me with the +5 minimum gear score. So it will have a small effect on the outcome of these tests, but I don't feel it is too big. Because after all, a lot of players still lack the major trophies for things like armoring, so it all comes out in the wash. So first I wanted to find out how many Umbral Shards we would get when we crafted a 600 gear score item, and the answer to that is 85, which I think is fair. It will allow crafters to get rolling a little bit on the 600 plus expertise, but will make it difficult for anyone who is being shady and buying gold, or for those who own Everfall, etc., to simply bang out 625 in an afternoon. It is basically what I've described. It offers the more casual players the feeling of progression without allowing them to pay to pace out the people who are banging their heads against mutations. So I'm pretty happy with that. Next I wanted to find out which trade skill would be the most optimal for someone looking to get their early Umbral Shards if this was their only option. So I set out to craft 400 items, 590 to 600 gear score, in weaponsmithing, armoring, and jewelcrafting. Why not engineering or arcana, you may ask? Well, because I didn't have the food for those on the PTR, simple as that, and I got really sick of making aptitude crates for cooking. But this will be a nice baseline to what to expect. So for my experiment, I made 400 great hammers in weaponsmithing. The reason I chose these, even though they are not the cheapest to craft, is because I was looking for potential resale value of the 600s if this was live. I wanted to consider all of the variables that would affect the cost, and the shields simply rarely sell. So these will cost around 5,750 coin to make, if I use my live server's current prices, so 575,000 coin per 100 rolls. Which is madness, but okay. And out of our first 100, we got 510 Umbral Shards. And out of our second 100, we got 1,275 Umbral Shards. And out of our third 100, we got 935 Umbral Shards. And finally, out of our final 100, we got 1,030 Umbral Shards. So we can easily say that this will get roughly 900 to 1,100 RNG dependent. Because, of course, the first horrible run. This is not very impressive for the amount we invested, and not looking good right now for crafters on your way up to 625 gear score. So next I tested armoring, and again, all of the same setup, 400 in 100 batches, but this time I made gloves, because one thing is really just as good as the other here. These of course are considerably cheaper due to leather not needing as much Asmodium, around 1,200 per craft. So, 120,000 per 100 craft session. Pennies, am I right? No, I'm kidding, of course. So from our first 100, we got 415 Umbral Shards. From our second attempt, we got 1,105 Umbral Shards. And on our third 100, we got 765 Umbral Shards. And on our final attempt, we got 680 Umbral Shards. So far, it's looking roughly the same, and still not that great. And finally, with Jewelcrafting. This one is another expensive one, and I made amulets again considering resale, and they cost roughly 5,600 per craft, so 560,000 coin per 100 session. From the first 100 I got 765 Umbral Shards. From the second batch I got 1,105 Umbral Shards. From the third round of 100 I got 935 Umbral Shards. And from the final batch I got 1,030 Umbral Shards. So again, not wonderful and unrealistic in terms of cost. So what does this mean? Well, simply, it means crafting is not an avenue. Simple as that. You could use crafting to get yourself into the low 600s, but once you start pushing into the higher 600s, when it starts costing 1,000 to 2,000 Umbral Shards for a single upgrade, no way this will be anyone's method. Mutations are going to be the way to get this done. Now we know for sure. So after doing all of these tests, I had a massive pile of Umbral Shards. So for fun, I thought I would upgrade one of the Gearscore 600 items I crafted to 625, because the gear they gave us this time around is already 625, so I can't upgrade that. So here it is. And you can see now, with your own eyes, why I keep telling those of you who seem upset over the Gearscore increase and feeling you will be left behind, that you won't be. Here is the fruits of the hours of labor in mutations, or the potential millions of coin in crafting. Are you not impressed? I mean, come on, 1 attribute point, and 1 more % threat, and 9 whole damage? Yeah, really, that's all it gave, for all of that effort, so I think we can relax, and push our expertise from 600 to 625 at our own pace, and not worry about it. You will need to slowly work on it so you are caught up for potential future content, but for now, it makes such a small difference it won't matter much. Still, the right perks, the right attributes, and the right gear weights are going to matter a ton more than 625 gear score. So really guys, I simply wouldn't worry about it. It's not something to get stressed about. It's not something to get angry about. It's simply another small carrot, and again, Amazon has missed the mark, as I have always said. A game shouldn't be easy. I am all for a grind. I've been playing MMOs for a long time, and most MMOs have much harder grinds than New World. New World's grind is a joke compared to most other games. However, the reason why New World feels a lot more difficult to endure the grind in is because there's no carrot. They really need to add something, and if they don't want to add stronger gear, that's fine. Then add really sick looking gear, or really cool sets that give cool effects, or something that we can chase after. Chasing after 1 attribute point is going to really demotivate people very quickly. And again, a game is supposed to waste your time, but it's not supposed to make you feel like you're wasting your time. It's supposed to make you want to waste your time. Anyway, I don't want to get into that rant, and I hope that makes sense to some of you. Anyway, okay guys, I just wanted to share some of this info with you, in hopes that we could all be ready when this thing goes live. And as always guys, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.